This is Baruch here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and that's the introduction, a little uplifting Jewish music, Jewish wedding dance. This is the Jewish Starlight Orchestra. Let's come over here. We're reading Aryeh Kaplan, and guess what we got to? This is the letter Yud and the letter Beis. They make the number 12, 10, and 2. So let's see what the next principle is. This is number 12 out of 13. This principle has a little richus to it, and let's see what he says. Ani ma'amim, I believe, be'emunah shalem be'bias Mashiach, when the coming of the Mashiach. V'afal pi sheyis ma'ameya, even though he may be delayed. In kol zeh achakelo, but I will wait for him b'kol yom sheyavo, every single day that he should come. Let's see what the translation is by Rabbi Kaplan. He says, I believe with perfect faith in the Mashiach, in the coming of the Mashiach, no matter how long it takes. I will await his coming every day. In Yigdal, the song says he will send our Messiah at the end of days to redeem those who await his final salvation. Now, the commentary on the Mishnah, Rabbi Kaplan says the 12th principle involves the Messianic age. Of course, this is a topic which is ripe, especially when you're living in the exile here in the United States. We believe and are certain that the Messiah will come. We do not consider him late, and although he tarry, we await him. We should not set a time for his coming, nor try to calculate when he will come from scriptural passages. Our sages thus teach us, may the spirit of those who try to calculate the time of the end rot. We believe that the Messiah will be greater than any other king or ruler who has ever lived. This has been predicted by every prophet from Moses to Malachi. One who doubts or minimizes this denies the Torah itself, for the Messiah is mentioned both in the account of Bilam and in the end of Deuteronomy. Including in this principle is the belief that a Jewish king can only come from the family of David, through his son Solomon. One who rejects this family denies God and his prophets. Now he's saying really straight out fundamental Jewish belief. The Messianic age is when the Jews will regain their independence and all return to the land of Israel. The Messiah will be a very great king, whose government will be in Zion. He will achieve great fame, and his reputation among the nations will be even greater than that of King Solomon. His great righteousness and the wonders that he will bring about will cause all peoples to make peace with him, and all lands to serve him. Whoever rises up against him will be destroyed by God and given over into his hand. All the biblical passages that speak of the Messiah thus testify to his success and to our prosperity that will accompany it. Nothing will change in the Messianic age, however, except that the Jews will regain their independence. Our sages thus teach us there is no difference between this world and the Messianic age, except with regard to our subjugation by other governments. Rich and poor, strong and weak will still exist in the Messianic age. It will be very easy for people to make a living, however, and with very little effort, and they will be able to accomplish very much. This is what our sages mean when they teach us in the future the land of Israel will bring forth white bread and cloaks of fine wool. This saying is very much like the common expression that people use when someone finds something all prepared and they say he has found baked bread and cooked food. Agriculture and harvest will still exist, however, even in the Messianic age. As the scripture clearly says, aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. It is for this reason that the sage who said that Israel will bring forth white bread became angry at one of his disciples, who took this statement literally. He answered that we indeed find similar things even now in the world. But even this answer, however, was given in the context of the disciples' misunderstanding. It was not the actual truth. We see that, so the question is, what is exactly our understanding? This is so since the Talmud uses this as an example of the teaching, do not answer a fool according to his folly. The main benefit of the Messianic age will be that we will no longer be under the subjugation of foreign governments who prevent us from keeping all the commandments. It will be a time when the number of wise men will increase, as we find in the quote from Isaiah, all the world will be filled with knowledge. War will no longer exist. As the prophet said, nation shall no longer lift up sword against nation. It will be an age of great perfection, through which we will become worthy to enter into the world to come. The Messiah will then die. Listen to all of this. And his son will rule in his place. He in turn will be followed by his son. The prophet speaks of the Messiah's death when he says in Isaiah again, he shall not fail nor be crushed until he has set right in the world. His kingdom, however, will last for a very long time. This is because man's lifetime will be vastly extended. Worries and trouble will no longer exist, and therefore people will live much longer. We should therefore not be surprised that the Messiah's kingdom will last for thousands of years. Our sages thus teach us that when this good is brought together, it will not be quickly dispersed. We do not hope and long for the Messianic age in order that we might have much grain and wealth. We do not want it so that we should be able to ride horses and indulge in wine and song as those with confused ideas believe. The main reason why our prophets and saints have desired the Messianic age with such a great longing is because it will be highlighted by a community of the righteous and dominated by goodness and wisdom. It will be ruled by the Messiah, who will be a righteous and honest king, outstanding in wisdom and close to God. The scripture therefore says of him, God has said to him, you are my son, I have given birth to you today. The people in that age will obey all the commandments of the Torah without neglect or laziness, and nothing will hold them back. This is what the prophet predicted. Man will no longer teach his friend and his brother, saying, know God, for all of them will know me. You don't have to tell somebody to know God. Know me, great and small alike. The scripture, speaking of the knowledge of God that comes through the Torah, as the previous verse says, I will place my Torah in their hearts. The prophet likewise said, in God's name, I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh. There are many other similar passages that speak along these lines. It is through this that we will be worthy of the world to come, which is, of course, the connection of the final goal. This is Baruch Fleischman. This is the shir right now. We're going to stop right here. We'll pick it up tomorrow. And let's just get a little bit more of this song. What is it? Jewish Wedding Dance.